Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, via Zoom is
Matthew Solomon Grundy Haas.
That's a long name.
It is.
I'm just going to call you Matt.
I mean, you're free to do that.
Or I'm just going to call you Slappy.
You could do that too, I guess.
Or I'm going to call you late for dinner. So, today on the show, we are covering episode 5 of season 2 of the TV show Stargirl, the CW DC show, which aired on September 7th, 2021. It was directed by Sheelan Koski and written by Steve Harper, and it's entitled Summer School Chapter 5. In this episode, we start out with 10 years ago, where Cindy Berman is awakened from a nightmare about her father, while her dad, Dragon King, secretly watches her from afar. So, and then we cut to in the present, where Cindy attempts to recruit Cameron while he's outside working on a mural of his father. But Cameron's grandmother, Lily, uses her freeze breath powers to stop Cindy, which they refer to as cryokinetic abilities.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's obviously hereditary then.
Yeah. I like the word cryokinetic. That's a fun word.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, after that flashback, you know, Cindy was, like, crying. And it's like, I don't understand her deal where it's like she hates her father for having experimented on her and she killed him, but yet she wants to take over the very organization that he was a part of.
Yeah.
So it does not compute. Don't understand. Because it's like if you're remembering something and you're crying because of how much it makes you sad, why? What is your life purpose? What is? I don't get it. Anyway, maybe we'll find out, I guess. But
yeah, we'll have to see. So meanwhile, Courtney is confronting her stepfather Pat about Shade's intentions. And then this mysterious storm rolls in town. And it's like only over Blue Valley. Like, the storm is not anywhere else in the country.
Right.
Just over Blue Valley, Nebraska. You know? So, yeah.
Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah.
You know, the entire state's just completely sunny
and no one, like, at the National Weather Bureau or whatever they call it, would be concerned about this.
No, it wasn't, because didn't they blame last season thing on the weather too?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, if I were working for them, I'd be like, we gotta go to Blue Valley, Nebraska. There's something going on.
Yeah.
In that really small town, you know. Where, I mean, it's like, what are you guys doing?
I mean, at least the Weather Channel should show up and do some research or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah, come on, guys, get working.
Come on, Byron Allen, get your people out there. By the way, Byron Allen owns the Weather Channel. Is
that Barry Allen's like cousin?
No,
Like,
no, he's a former stand-up comedian.
oh, okay. Wow.
And he owns. Yeah, he used to have a late night talk show and stuff and everything too. Yeah, he owns the Weather Channel now.
That's a really interesting career change. Like, you know what I mean? Used to be a stand-up comedian. Now I own the Weather Channel.
Yeah, he also owns some other networks and stuff too. He's like really rich and everything. I don't know. Interesting guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Used to write jokes for Jimmy Walker and stuff, and he was like a really young stand-up when he was like 18 and stuff. And
oh wow,
yeah, really interesting story. There's a episode, I don't know if it's still in his free episodes, but Mark Maron did an interview with him, and it's really cool on his WTF podcast. Yeah, I don't know why I'm going off about Byron Allen, but yeah. So anyway, so it was a very interesting episode. So Cameron, you know, basically rebukes her, you know, as the Cindy tries to recruit Cameron again, I should say, and he rebukes her. And this is at the school, and on her way out, she uses a Calypso to enchant the art teacher, Paul. Is it Dessinger?
Yeah, I think it's Dessinger.
Yeah. Which I thought, when I first read it, I thought it said designer, and I was like, he's an art teacher with the last name Designer? That's kind of funny. Anyway, so...
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's kind of appropriate.
Little on the nose, yeah.
The Shade ends up visiting Barbara regarding Courtney's search for him, and then burns in his number on the business card that Barbara had from him from before. So now she can get a hold of him. What else is happening here in this episode, Matt?
What else is happening is that the Shade really needs to learn some modern ways of, like, you know, getting people to be in touch with them instead of having to burn a number onto a card.
Shit, I'm going to have to stop doing that now.
There's, like, a thing called Gmail, Facebook, you know, Instagram, you know. Well, I doubt he has Instagram. But, no, so,
he does have TikTok, though. It's weird.
He's got TikTok, yeah. The Shade's TikTok page is wild, man. It's crazy shit on there.
You should see the video where he dances and lip syncs to a bunch of Olivia Rodrigo songs. It's great. I'm telling you.
Richard Swift. Yeah, wow. That's like interesting visualization.
Actually, it's a funny, a little known fact. He's actually Taylor Swift's dad.
Wow. No, and so he goes to where Shadow Realm or whatever he goes, and you know, just disappears on her, and Courtney and Yolanda are really, I don't know. They're just having like a full-on discussion about the shade inside of summer class, which I don't think is very appropriate, to be doing, because, no, not the shade, about Eclipso, I think. And,
yeah, I mean, my whole thing is, you got to remember this whole secret part of your secret identity thing. I'm just saying.
Because Isaac overhears them a little bit, and it's like, maybe you should, not do that. They already did that before, I think, when they were talking about the shade. It's like, dude, he's listening in on what you're talking about. Like come on. Like, and so the art teacher, Paul, Mr. Desinger, he's like, he basically has COVID, and like nobody seems to care or notice. But I'm not sure if COVID exists in this show, because no one really,
probably not.
Like, yeah, I don't think it does. But so he's like coughing and like, like clearing his throat a bunch, and like he looks all like tired and weak. I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't expose your students to whatever you've got going on. So he goes and ends class early, and then he goes in to the art room, and in a really disgusting scene, he starts vomiting paint.
I haven't read much on the side effects of COVID lately, but is vomiting up paint one of them?
It could be. I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Well, that might be a vaccine side effect, and go to vaccines or the devilstools.org.geocities.com, and it'll tell you all about that. GeoCities. Good times. But so he starts vomiting up different colors of paint because Eclipso said he's the guy's new muse now, because he mentioned about a muse early on, about how like Cameron, like Courtney's basically Cameron's muse, because he was drawing pictures of her like not still images but like live, whatever it was. Basically when you draw someone but they're not being still, they're, you know what I mean, you're just drawing from. I'm not an artist, so I don't know the terms, but
like, it's kind of, he's kind of like creating these whole like Jackson Pollock sort of abstract art,
based off of Courtney, because he's liked Courtney for a long time actually. And
you mean I thought you meant Paul? I'm sorry.
Paul ended up taking no. I was saying that Cameron was drawing pictures of Courtney, and Paul said that Courtney's Cameron's muse. So then he said that every artist has to have a muse. So then when Cindy enchanted Paul, Eclipso said that he's Paul's muse now, which that can't be good.
I mean, every artist does have a muse. I mean, like Kevin Smith has Jason Mewes.
Yeah, and he's his muse, and his last name is Muse. So
I'm sorry, that was a really bad dad joke.
It's
okay, so
true.
So
he starts
coughing
up paint. And then Eclipso says, "Paint what you see," and he says, "I don't see anything." And he says, "Look again." And he's like, "I see everything." And he's like, "Yes, draw it or paint it or whatever."
Yeah. And then he so Dessinger is engulfed by a paint blob at one point. And so nobody knows where he is, and the JSA visits the school to investigate. But because Paul is like affected by Eclipso, he causes them to see nightmares until Courtney rescues him. So they're seeing like these like drawings and paintings of things that are freaking them out, like all over the lockers and random shit in the school. Yeah.
They went all in on the horror in season 2. I'm actually quite interested in that they really went all in on just being scary. I mean, like that thing that like the chalkboard, the face came out of the chalkboard at Courtney, I mean, like that was just really scary.
That didn't happen at your high school?
No, unfortunately. I mean, if I smoked too much DMT, it kind of did here and there, or salvia, which I'm kidding. I've never done that. But yeah, you see a lot of weird shit like Eclipso coming out of a chalkboard, trying to grab you. Yolanda sees Brainwave or sees like a picture of him or whatever, because she still feels guilty for slitting his throat. That's just the fucked up thing about it. Like, they're all, like, I think sophomores in high school at that time.
Yeah.
She literally murdered a man at the age of, like, 16. Like, that's kind of really...
I mean, the first guy you murder is kind of hard, and then after that, it's easier.
Then it just gets easier.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh.
This is not a confession.
Yeah, just letting you know I've not murdered anybody that I know of.
Yeah. That you know. Whoa.
There have been some
How would you not?
I was on Ambien once, and wait, I'm just joking.
Oh, well, yeah. That's your excuse. If you're on Ambien, then you can get away with anything. So
I didn't become racist. I just became a murderer. Oh wait.
Yeah, you were a non-racist murderer.
Yes. I only killed white people, and
yeah.
Wait.
If you kill someone else of a different race, it was like you're like, I just let you know I'm not doing this because you're black. I'm just letting you know up front. Don't take it personally. That's a weird idea for a movie. The non-racist murderer who apologizes to the people he's about to murder. Like, I'm just letting you know I've got nothing against Chinese people. Okay, it's just happened to choose you. It's kind of just, like a Magic 8-Ball type of thing. Just told me to go. That's really fucking...
I think we should write that movie. Anyway, so we've got Courtney rescues Dessinger. Basically, and then negates Eclipso's powers with her, her light takes out the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, man. And,
Whoa, man.
Whoa, man. Whoa, man. Whoa, man. Woman. Oh, anyway, so... I just went somewhere. I don't know where. Yeah... Dessinger later ends up in a psychiatric evaluation place, like a psychiatric hospital. So, or institution, or whatever they call them. So during the episode, Beth also confronts her parents about their divorce. So she admits to finding the divorce papers. And, do you want to take a quick break here, Matt?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, before we get to the next part of the episode. We'll be right back, folks. After this.
What is Gen X? What is the silent generation? What do generations have in common? Hi, I'm Trish the Dish from the Gen X Voice podcast, and I invite you to listen to conversations I have with folks from different generations, backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences in an attempt to see what connects rather than divides us. Even though Gen X has been called slackers, Karens, or not mentioned at all in some cases, we are the bridge generation, so I feel compelled to do my part to destroy ageism by bringing all these voices together. And, as a bonus, each guest gets to answer some 80s questions at the end of each show. So download and listen to Gen X Voice today on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And let's see how much we have in common after all.
Hi, this is Catherine, host of a new fashion podcast, The Real Fashion School Dropout. Join me as I interview guests every week in the fashion and beauty space, and we gossip on all things fashion and beauty and even get into some personal stories of their journey in the industry. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Hope to see you there.
And we are back.
What?
I think my voice has changed.
I would say so.
I don't know what's wrong, Matt.
You sound like, what is it you sound like? Some character. What would it... Shoot, I can't think of him. Some guy.
Yes,
Yeah, some guy.
some guy.
Just go with that. It was some dude.
I am some dude. That is my
Yes,
name.
you are. Yes, you are.
I know everything.
Oh, no, I know what you sound. You sound like Abed's character in the Dungeons and Dragons episode when he's portraying.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I do, don't I?
No. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. He's like, I am a gnome.
I am a gnome.
Yeah.
I was thinking, after you said that, that sounded like it too. The only other voice I think I sounded like when I accidentally did that voice was maybe the character that Billy Barty played in the Masters of the Universe live action film.
Oh.
I can't remember his character. Basically the character that they used instead of Orko.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. But anyways, somebody will let us know.
Yeah. Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just email it to me, mike@cullenpark.com. I mean, because I forgot how to use Google. Anyway, so, to find it myself.
Right, exactly. Send me an email from the listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
And,
I'll get the answer like a week from now. Like,
right.
somebody will just send me the name of the character, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Is this spam?
So, anyways, like I was saying, Beth is confronting her parents about the divorce, and she wants to talk about it now, but they're like, "Yeah, let's talk about it later." Blah blah blah. They're putting it off like they do.
Yeah.
You know. So, I don't know. This, I mean, I like that they're giving Beth something more, but this whole, like, storyline of the parents getting divorced is kind of... I don't know, it just feels awkward to me. I guess that's what it's supposed to feel. But
It is, but at the same time, like...
it is something good to put in the show, because, I mean, the show's geared towards probably teenagers more than it is towards guys in their 30s and 40s like us.
Exactly. But it's such a good show. That's the thing, though.
I know.
It's like, yeah, it might be for them.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I get to watch this shit too. So
Yeah.
I'm not a second-class citizen. I'm allowed to watch Stargirl. You know, I'm allowed to watch Wildcat murder people as a teenager.
Yeah.
You know,
It's all good. You know.
you know.
I'm allowed to watch episodes of iCarly randomly. Oh wait, no. No, I don't do that. I'm just joking. I was trying to think of something that was geared towards teens.
What is that show even about? I never even knew what that.
I did. No.
No, okay.
No, she's a girl that does her own like YouTube show. That's the original thing, like with her friends.
Okay.
I remember watching it years ago, the original iCarly. There's a reboot of it now, too. But I remember watching it at my nieces and nephew's house and totally, like, just getting, involved in the show. And, like, I had to leave one day in the middle of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and finished it on Netflix. Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah. I was like, why am I watching this? But anyways, so...
Right. Like, okay.
So, anywho, the whole divorce thing, I don't know. I just hope it goes somewhere that is satisfying, place or something, or maybe there's more to it than we don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could.
Well, the whole problem is that Beth doesn't really. I'm not trying to be mean about this, but she doesn't really have that much to contribute to the team. I mean, she's kind of like Pat in a way, where she has like really no like powers. Like she can't really fight. It's like, you know what I mean? Like they need to do something to make her. I mean, I'm not making fun of her character. I just mean like if you're part of like a superhero team, like you need to be able to like do something other than just look at goggles. Like, you know what I mean? Like you need something.
They need to develop her character more. I mean, that's it. She's a good actress, and they need to like give her more to do. And
yeah, totally.
I mean, I want to see a romance between her and Rick. Come on, just
they've been sort of teasing this a little bit for a while.
But they haven't done it.
That they both kind of like know how to talk to each other. That they either of them can really connect with the other.
But then again, I guess it's not a bad thing. I mean, you can have a situation where a guy and a girl can just be friends, and that's cool too. You know?
No, not allowed. It has to be romance. Those are the rules. You're not allowed to have just platonic friendships. No, it's against the rules. Harry Met Sally. They proved that right in like a movie from like 35 years ago. But
that is still a great movie. But still,
it is, I know, I'm not making fun of it.
No,
it is a great movie.
Yes.
But that was that whole thing of like, a guy and a girl can't be friends, man, because one of them's going to catch feelings from the other, and it's like, okay, maybe, but like, I mean, so what? Like, I mean, you just deal with it. I mean, like, by that logic, does that mean then that like a gay guy can't be friends with another guy because he might catch feelings? Well, I mean, that's basically like the logic behind it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's an old cliche. Anyways, so Cindy tries a third time to recruit Cameron.
Jesus. Does? Wait, oh yeah,
and she fails yet again.
Yeah, he will not budge. He's not going to do it.
No means no, people.
Well, Cindy apparently doesn't know the meaning of no because she's insanely pushy.
Yeah.
And does not... I still am trying to wrap my head around that character. Like, what is her motivation?
It's hard to say.
Just don't get it.
Anyways, then she meets up with Artemis and Isaac, who she's already recruited, to plan to recruit Mike instead. Is what they're implying. Right. So, and then
for some reason,
I don't get that. Anyway, so Cameron is now continuing to work on his mural until he suffers a hand cramp and drops his now ice-covered paintbrush.
Uh-oh.
So, dun dun dun.
What's going to happen now? Is he going to be Icicle Jr. or... I really hope he doesn't join the Injustice. Well, then again, we'll talk about that next episode. But because there's some interesting developments in terms of that.
Yeah.
But I won't say what. But,
no, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so without giving anything away, because we have seen the next episode, do you have any speculation here for what's going to happen this season here, Matt? After the events of this episode.
Yeah, so I think Starman or whoever this person is eventually going to find his way to Blue Valley. I'm thinking probably either in the finale or maybe like 1 or 2 episodes before the finale. I'm wondering about Jay Garrick of why he's going to show up at some point. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out though with the Starman of it all.
She's right,
because Joel McHale. What was it? I was listening to a podcast recently, and he said that he was talking on this podcast. It was a recent podcast, and one of the things he was promoting was Stargirl. Like, saying, yeah, I get to be, I'm Starman on there, and blah, 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 and talking about that. And then he was talking about how cool it is to work with the cast on there and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, and how cool Stargirl herself, Brecca is. And, you know, it's just, yeah, it's like, it's kind of weird, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we still have, 7 more episodes, I think. So, you know, a lot could happen. I mean, lots have already happened this season already. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's going to be 13 episodes this season, so...
We're only 6 episodes in, and so much has happened. But yeah, I think I think the Flash, Jay Garrick's version of the Flash, he's probably going to introduce probably something to do with maybe time travel because they have the speedsters have the ability to break the time wall or whatever. But because I do think that time travel, like the JSA had done time travel even with Pat, because some of these pictures they have taken look so old. Like they look like they're taken from cameras from like 1930s and 40s. So like there's no reason. I mean, I know like they're kind of going for like a 1960s aesthetic for with like the uniforms and stuff, but I think there's more to it than just that alone. Like I think like they may have actually spent some time
in the past.
Who knows? Maybe they spent years in the past. Maybe they couldn't get back for a while. So maybe they literally, kind of like in the Legends of Tomorrow, where they literally spent like 2 years in the 1950s until the Wave Rider could pick them up again.
Yeah.
Like maybe they literally spent like just a good chunk of their lives, like in the 1940s or whatever, just like, oh, I guess we're stuck here. We're gonna make a life here for a while, I guess, until we can figure out, what to do.
Either that or they hired a hipster to take all of their photographs.
Yeah, it could just be a whole, like, hey, man, like, we got, like, 1950s cars and, milkshakes with sarsaparilla. And, I love that word now, sarsaparilla.
Some hipster with a man bun.
Like Bishop, yeah.
He came and he's gotten, all he has are these, like, old Kodak cameras from, the 1950s or something, or the 40s, and, that's all you...
Yeah. And, I don't know much about... I mean, obviously Eclipso is going to be a big part of the season, but, I wonder if there's going to be maybe, like, another villain might show up, maybe. I don't know.
They do have a lot of episodes, so you think there might be... Because,
Yeah.
I don't know how long you can play out the Eclipso of it all, but we'll have to see.
The Eclipso, yeah.
So, anything else, Matt, before we wrap things up here?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so, folks, be sure to check out our TeePublic. You can get some cool t-shirts. I got my All Too Real 2 t-shirt recently. It's nice and soft and comfortable, and, it looks cool, too. Also, you can check out our website, all2real2.com. I don't know why I just sang that. But the
kind of cool.
The website is awesome. You can get links to all of our stuff. You can join our Facebook group, All2Real2 podcast group, and talk to us there. We have a TikTok too, folks. If you want us to, do something with that, let us know what we can do, because I don't get the ticks and the talks.
I mean, I'm not a talker either, so I don't. I mean, is that what they call themselves, talkers? I don't know.
Maybe they're tickers. I don't know.
Or talkers, or the TikToks and the Instagram and the
the Facebooks and the MySpaces and the Friendsters and the I'm going back way too far.
Friendsters. Wow, Friendsters you actually had to pay for. That was crazy.
And then there's and then there's just the party lines on the phone. Oh wait,
party! Wow, that's some old shit right there.
My dad was telling me about that. He actually, they would participate in that. Like they would go after school, and go on this party line, and you would just talk to, there would be a bunch of people in there on the phone, and they'd all be calling the same number, and you talk in there, and I guess, you could be like, you could ask girls out in there, you could do other things. It was kind of like basically Facebook before Facebook, but on the phone.
I mean, they've ever since we've had the ability to communicate through like technological means, like besides like sending letters, or even then I guess technically, but like telegrams or like plus too, even before party lines, in some neighborhoods at least, they literally, like, it was so primitive back then that, like, if you just like picked up the phone, like, you could just hear someone else like having like a phone conversation.
Yeah.
And like you'd have to wait for that person to get off. Like that was how primitive it was back then. Like, oh, I can't call my dad because this lady's talking with her, brother or whatever,
But then it's just like, well, Mrs. Garcia has cancer now. I know this. Oh wait, what?
Like you would literally have to like, oh, I'm sorry, and like ask, do you know what to like be off the phone? And, oh, about a half hour. Oh, okay, thank you. It's like, but then how do you know? Because someone else is gonna pick up the phone. And it's like it just seemed like a weird system. But like,
yeah,
they worked it out somehow. So, yeah, come back for our history lessons about early MySpace and pre-social media, but it was kind of its own version of social media. Man, we kind of lost a lot of shit like that though, like community stuff. Because like I remember my great aunt, she was like she died in her like 90s, and she used to tell us how like someone in her neighborhood, it was like the first person in her neighborhood who got a TV, and like literally people would just like sit out in the front yard and just like watch TV, like with them in the house. They just be watching the TV from like, I'm like, that seems kind of like, you should try that these days. I don't think people would be too happy about that, but like they didn't care. So like they would like watch wrestling, like old school wrestling.
Yeah.
That
reminds me of when all of the cable boxes had the same remote control.
Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah, so my friend Eric and I used to go around to some neighborhoods, and if anybody had their window shades open, you could change the channel on their TV if you had your remote.
Yes.
So, they'd be sitting there watching something, and we'd just change it to like MTV or whatever.
Yes, yeah, we did. I did the same exact thing with my brother and like some of our friends down the street.
And then I used to go over to like friends' houses and bring my remote with me too.
Right, and just change
the channel when they're not looking.
I think when I look back at it, it's a pretty asshole-ish thing to do.
I know it is.
A TV channel from outside, like. It's like, I worked all day long, a fucking 12-hour shift. I just want to watch Matlock or whatever,
Yeah.
These damn kids are playing VH1
yes.
or MTV.
It's like, also, I mean, I know we're going off on weird tangents that have nothing to do with Stargirl here, but there was a kid in my high school who had he had a watch that had a universal remote built into it.
Oh, wow.
And it was the coolest thing because in our homeroom, he would turn the TV on randomly and change it and stuff.
That's awesome.
Like we'd go in the homeroom and we have to watch this thing called Channel 1, which was a kids news channel or something. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and he would change it over to like MTV in the middle of it or something, and then
I like some of Channel 1's programs. I don't know why. But some of them are actually kind of educational and interesting. By the way, there's a whole thing about that. I think it was an article or maybe it was a document. I don't know, but it was like the whole history of like how Channel 1 came into being. Really interesting story behind that. If you want to check that out sometime, it's really interesting.
But anyways, folks, be sure to tune back in when we talk about the next episode of tune back in? What the fuck? Check us out check out the next. We talk about the next episode of Stargirl here on All Too Real 2. Wear a mask, people. Wear a condom. Be kind. Rewind. And until next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.